Thank you, everyone, for 3 days of wonderful and might I say diverse topic presentations. I think everyone has been pretty amazed at the quality and professionalism of all the speakers, but especially by the broad range of topics covered that take us from the professional to the personal and back again. So I want to personally thank all the speakers for their time and for their effort and for who they are, because the people have not been all the same either. We have a diverse group from a wide range of locations. I would also, of course, be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank Jamie Allen Bishop for bringing us all together here. It's been a fun 3 days. Now, as far as the group discussion goes, we've discussed it here and think maybe the best way to kick this off is to not get down inside the weeds right now and pick off one topic or somebody's particular presentation and ask a question of great detail, because that's a rabbit hole that kind of is the same as the Netflix quote that I heard before. So I think the best thing to do at this point is to, and from someone who is, as I guess this day been defined as grounded, to ask the question of the last 3 days, accepting your own topic and presentation, what do you think has been the most interesting or informative part of this retreat?
So now you want Brian to go first. Is that what I heard Jamie say? Because she's the boss.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Yes, because he has to go.
Oh,
soon.
because he has to leave. Okay. Brian, take it away.
Well, I just love the fact that everybody in the world, demonstrated by everyone here, has something that they're passionate about and love to share. And so I'll just bring that into my life when interacting with anybody else, realizing that we might not be on the same page with a lot of things, but there is something that they are very passionate about and would be willing to open up. And thank you for the speakers today, because I definitely want to learn more about myself through all the different modalities that y'all were talking, and expand my knowledge base so that I can be the best that I can be in the world.
I like that. And because that was one from the Zoom, we should get one from the room. Is that okay with you, Mark?
That seems like a good
So I'm going
plan.
to go ladies first.
This is Melanie Browning. I think the kind of the biggest takeaway, or even kind of reminder, is that all of these beautiful presentations, we're learning new things from one another, and yet we can all relate and connect at some place or point in our life. So I really truly love how just, and it represents coming from around the world and connecting and having those beautiful moments while we're still learning. So I love, to me, because I'm kind of in between grounded and in the clouds sometimes, but really feeling that connection to all of it was absolutely beautiful. And I think, Jamie, you did an amazing job bringing everyone together to really bring that togetherness.
Clary, since you were here from the very beginning, all 3 days, I'll jump to you.
Yes, from the start to the end, it's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. The word collaboration just really stands out for me. Obviously, I think Jamie really embodies this soul heart collaboration. And sometimes when we're working on our passion and our purpose and the way that we want to create positive change and the way that we want to serve and help people, we can sometimes get really focused on that and forget that there's so many other people out there that are doing different but yet similar things. And a lot of the words and the sort of concepts and the essence has been similar. There's been a lot of focus on authenticity, love, expansion, growth, self-acceptance, and those types of things. And I just really feel as though whilst we've all been having a sort of core message that's been kind of similar about infinite possibilities, the way people have been speaking about them has been different. So for me, my takeaway is that I'm part of something greater, and we all are. And there is a shift in consciousness. Neptune is in the 29 degrees Pisces. So that's the culmination of that. And it was just really good to feel that. So that's my takeaway. Thank you to everybody. It's been a pleasure.
All right. I've been handed the mic for some reason. Three words that really kind of sum up this weekend for me is service, collaboration, and self-introspection. Being willing to, each of us have talked about in some way, looking at ourselves, analyzing or feeling where we're at, what needs to change, and moving through that space to be able to come out on the other side following our dreams. Sometimes it's through healing, sometimes it's through overcoming specific challenges. Some of us are a little more animated, like Mel, who, if you guys weren't here, I couldn't do it. That's for sure. But let me just tell you what, the intuition that's been shared, the insights that each of us have brought have really just given me plenty to think about. Notes, I've taken plenty of notes so that I have things to work on when I get home. So, all right, Scott, back to you. Pearl.
Thank you. And Nina has raised her hand, so we'll go next to you. And then just because I'm that person, Sandy, you'll be on deck when we come back in the room.
I think the biggest takeaway that I have is that, yeah, we all share these different modalities of finding our favorite version of ourselves, but some of them may not resonate with other people, right? And so it's just like Joe was saying, it's so important to find what works for you. And my truth does not have to be your truth. Your truth does not have to be my truth. And that is really the beautiful thing about life. That is the beautiful thing about experiencing this lifetime on this planet, because we are all experiencing things from our own perspective, from our own energy and our own experience in life. And I kind of say this with, religion, like your religion doesn't have to be my religion, but we're all trying to make it home, right? So I think that's the beautiful thing with this, is that we get to learn and expand and just introduce people to a new way of thinking. And if it works right now for them, that's beautiful. And maybe in 5 or 10 years, they can revisit something that doesn't, resonate today. And I think it's so beautiful to be able to help people see a new perspective. So that's what I love about everybody's just different modalities, is that we're all here just trying to love and expand our hearts and everything within each other. So I think it's such a beautiful thing to expand the collective's consciousness just on that greater level.
Aileen, we see your hand. We're going to go back into our in-person room to get their thoughts, come back to Sandy, and then we'll come to you, just so you know that we're not ignoring you.
Thanks,
Scott?
Pearl. I'm Bob Foss from West Virginia. And biggest takeaway for me was just a lot of new perspectives. Coming from the fire service, there's a lot of stuff here that you guys presented that is definitely not in my day-to-day realm. Jamie called it the woo-woo, right? Holy woo-woo Batman, right? Just a lot of things. Again, it's just something that I've never really thought of or never really sat in my purview. So on top of that is the networking. And as much as we get from presentations and programs and stuff like that, I think even after the camera was off, when we sat down to meals and had conversations, just so much more networking and finding the similarities that a lot of us have, and the passion and drive to not only better ourselves but others, while looking out for ourselves and others as well. So that was the biggest takeaways for me.
Okay, great. We are going to, I know I had Sandy on call on deck, but since Aileen has to leave here in a few minutes, we're going to go to her. And then, Sandy, I promise we are going to come to you.
Well, hello. I was blessed to attend in person, and it was just a blessing to be with some of the speakers on Friday night. We were able to go to dinner and just to sit and feel the vibe and the energy of these speakers. I was able to sit and have, break bread with Will, with Bob, Jamie, of course, and her husband, and Melanie. And just to feel the energy and how much synergy we have. Sorry, there's somebody knocking on my, give me a second. I truly believe, oh my God,
I got one of those.
Sorry about that. I had someone at the door. So I just want to thank you, Jamie. I want to thank you for inviting me. I didn't know what I was stepping into. All of us have a story. And by all means, I look forward to collaborating, staying in touch with many of the speakers that I met in person. And your stories were just great. I'm looking to make a difference. And all of us continue to collaborate. So please stay in touch. And again, Jamie, thank you. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm just so grateful that I was invited to be part of this.
So I think takeaway, and I've had this kind of takeaway through, because I've come to different events over the years. And I think one of the things that I've taken away from each time is to not try to implement every single thing that every single speaker talks about, because you're never going to be able to, right? So it's one of those things where you can say, there might be a tidbit here, a tidbit there, something that you can grab from each speaker, each person that you've listened to. And maybe you don't put it all into effect right now, but maybe you pick 2 or 3 altogether out of all those little tidbits, and you say, these are the things I'm going to work on. And then once you've got those flowing in your life, revisit those points, come back to it and say, these are the next 2 or 3 things I'd like to work on. And opening up, I am grabbing the Akashic Records talk only because that's something that I've had in my mind and in my worldview since the 90s. And I haven't really reconnected with that in years. So to have that synergy kind of come back around was great. And it was like that gentle little reminder of, oh yeah, this has been kind of hanging out in the back of your mind for a little while. So I think there's let's bring in the little tidbits, but also the recollection of what have you thought about in your past and what is now coming up again, and looking at that and saying, this is the time. This is the time to go ahead and explore, because if it comes back around to you, it probably means that it's meant for you.
I like that, definitely. There was a lot of knowledge and dropped, so absolutely great. We are going to go next to Miss Anika for your thoughts.
Oh, well, first of all, I feel very elevated from not just vibrational standpoint, but just as a human, because I've taken on, and thank you, Sandy, because that talk you actually went before me, and it was so inspirational to talk about dreams and the mindset and the brain, and then kind of switch it to the soul, which happens to be where I went, like, to kind of thoughts and changing my mindset in this conference. So I really loved all the speakers, and I loved the synchronicities and how everything really aligned for me as well and elevated me at the same moment. So all of these different pieces of information kind of fit into the bigger picture for me and allow me to really step and take that next action step. So that's what I'm taking away from this. And I hope that everyone that joined in can pick all, just like Sandy said, and really align that in your life the way that really fits. Like Nena said, it's not going to be all at the same time, but whatever it's useful for you, take that piece and align it and elevate yourself in taking that next step. That's really what I'm taking away. Again, I'm an empath, so I'm taking this energy as well and really spreading it and feeling it. So I'm embodying it and really vibrating super high for the past 3 days. So I'm taking that into my life as well. So thank you so much to everyone, to Jamie, and I am thrilled to offer you some more guidance if after this conference you feel like you're up to it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. And again, at least in the Zoom room, I dropped all of the speakers' contact information from the last 3 days. So don't forget to save the chat before you jump off. Miss Susie, you are next, and then we will go to the lovely Wendy after Susie.
We may need to go to Wendy first.
Okay, no worries. Wendy?
Hi, everyone. This weekend was amazing. Unfortunately, I missed yesterday's because I had my mother and I wasn't able to hop on, but I did see a few on Friday and also today, and it's just been so empowering, and I'm just all pumped up in like all the different tools that each speaker shared and all the it it resonates with me totally, and it's all something that I can implement also on my journey. And Brian, he spoke about Reiki. I do Reiki. I've always been interested in Akashic records and also human design. Like all of this, everything that you all talked about is something that I'm passionate about learning more about, and it's just been amazing. It's and I feel all of these energies, and I'm also an empath, and so all the energies in this room is just amazing, and we're all here on this journey, and we're connecting here in this moment in time is not a coincidence. We're all connecting, and we all have something to share, and this is going to help the collective move forward on this ascension journey that we're on. So all the big changes that's happening in the world and all we're all part of that. It's really amazing. And I also want to thank you, Jamie, for organizing this amazing retreat and for having me here. I'm blessed. I feel really blessed right now.
Well, thank you again, Wendy, for especially joining us from Egypt. You're in one of my bucket list places, so that was lovely to hear.
Oh, come on down. I recommend it. It's the pictures don't do it justice. It's really an amazing place.
Yeah. Thank you. Joe.
Yeah, I think, I unfortunately was not able to participate the last couple of days due to some unplanned circumstances, unforeseen circumstances, but I think just who I had a chance to hear today and even listening to how everybody has experienced the event, I think really talks to just the entire theme of the event of infinite possibilities, right? There are definitely more than one way to get to wherever it is we want to be. The key to that is knowing where you're starting and then using whatever map, whatever legend is going to work for you to get where you want to go. So if you're using a map, right, you could take a highway, you can take the long way, you can walk, you can meditate along the way, you can, but I think just knowing which one is going to get you there, every language helps each other. And so I love that what we've seen here today is really a lot of ways that you can start with one and build on it with something else. I always see it when I think of strengths with my own thing is a building block. It's not the only way to get there. It's just a complementary thing that helps you make more sense of other modalities and other things you're doing along the way. And I think we each do that, whether it's numerology or understanding our Jupiter or, looking at our human design. I think they are all ways of getting to the same place. And I love it when we can come together and support one another in those different modalities and share the knowledge in a way that will hopefully resonate for the people that need to hear it. I'm a big believer in, something echoing what Nena said is it doesn't matter which one it is. Pick one and go with it. Find the one that works for you. And that is all that matters. So thank you very much for letting me be a part of this. It was really a joy. And I look forward to connecting with some of you and also listening to the recordings for a couple of these that I know I was really excited to hear, but unfortunately missed. So thank you.
Well, thank you again. And thank you to everyone here. We're going to go back into the room. I believe Jean and Jamie, of course, it's a lot. Susie's not quite available. So thank you to everyone. It's been quite extraordinary.
You don't get to do that from there, Jamie. Come on. Everybody in the room and on the Zoom, let's hear it for Jamie.
Hello, everybody. When it comes to takeaways from this event, there's no way to cover it all. There's so many takeaways. I have notes for every single speaker, and every single speaker did an amazing job. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing time, effort, money, energy into yourself and your growth, because that's how we elevate the planet. Just is. For me, the idea of infinite possibilities came from numerology, from the numerology of this year, which is a 2024. And I mentioned 2024 because it's okay that it's 2024. 2 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And in the number 8, there are infinite possibilities. It is the number of expansion. It's the number of love and light and knowing our value. And so that's why we titled this Infinite Possibilities. And every single presenter we can all present exactly the same presentation, exactly the same way, and we would vibe with somebody else in the world, with different people in the world. So there is no competition. Even if I had all human design people or all strengths test people or all Reiki people, it doesn't matter. We're not in competition with each other. This is the moment that when we know this, that we're empowered to speak our truth and to get out there into the world and do it with reckless abandon. Because our tribe, our people, the people that we're meant to teach will find us, and we're meant to speak our truth and do that. So thank you all for speaking your truth this weekend and for being part of this presentation. And to all the audience members who are valuing themselves enough to know that the learning process is that these kind of events are part of that learning process. I would be remiss without thanking Pearl. You have done an amazing job moderating. Yes. The links and just like, I'm blown away. You're amazing. Thank you. Scott, good golly. Technical difficulties happen and he's been over here sweating in his suit, let me tell you. But the truth is that he's stepped up to the plate every single time and resolved the problem and gotten us back on track. And when we're live and in person, or when everything is working, it's working so beautifully and so professionally and so seamlessly. So thank you, Scott. I have a little something for you.
Thank you.
Something.
Thank you.
Mark,
Oh.
thank you for being our MC. Just blown away by the effort and time that you put into getting to know every single one of these speakers through their bio. I so appreciate you. And to all my volunteers here, giving and serving, including my speakers. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. You know the love is in the chat here, so you'll have to read all of that. And thank you for your kind words, but you're not done, apparently, because there's this man in your life who has something to share. And he wasn't shy about it. He said he wanted 10 minutes. I said, I'll give him 5.
The saying is they save the best for last, but that's not true in this case. It's just me. Thank you. For those who don't know me, I'm Gene Bishop. I'm Jamie's husband. And my journey with this retreat goes back the better part of the year. I've been there to witness firsthand all of the sleepless nights and the hours upon hours upon hours on the computer and doing interviews and sending emails and just creating everything we all experienced this weekend. The trials and tribulations, the frustrations, the roadblocks that were thrown in her way were too many to mention. And coming from a type A left brain personality, I definitely had my doubts. I'm not too proud to say. But I knew above all else that whatever wound up coming from it, Jamie would pull it off in only a way that she can. And that's exactly what happened. She pulled together all of these people, and none of whom I knew prior to this weekend. And I can honestly say going forward that I've made several friends who I have no doubt we will keep in touch with and get to know on a personal level and hopefully build long and lasting friendships with. And unfortunately, those people are here in the room with us. So yeah, for those of you on Zoom, come on out next year. Well, Claire, I'm not sure if you heard that, but Mark is volunteering you to host next year. That's where Claire is she not? Oh, well, hey, anyway, that being said, my biggest takeaway is that there is indeed infinite possibilities. Again, type A, left brain personality, a very cut and dried black and white world that I live in, operate in, work in. So to see and hear all the different points of view and the different ways of approaching things and looking at life in general, the number of problems that have been solved in a countless number of ways is just blows me away. And I have definitely learned and grown as a result of that. So thank you all here and on Zoom. But lastly, I need to offer a sincere word of thanks to my lovely bride. You put this all together. You had some help. You had a great team, but you made it happen. You brought all of these people together. You fought through the difficulties. You overcame obstacles. And here we are today as a result of your efforts and energy. And so thank you. You did an amazing job. And I think everybody would agree. So. Congratulations.
We're clapping in the room as well.
You guys are too much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's to next year. I'm on my tippy toes. They're laughing at me. Next year, first weekend in October, join us for Refresh and Renew, because it is a 9-year, it is a foundational year, it is a wrapping up all things that are possible kind of year. So if you haven't already, if you enjoyed this retreat, if you enjoyed the replays, put that on your calendar for next year. Refresh and Renew 2025, first weekend in October. And thank you for sticking around even after technical difficulties. So, thank you, thank you, thank you.